Hello everybody, welcome back to Rome. Hope you're all doing well and that you are having the best day of your life. It is currently 9,000 degrees here. I have realized quite quickly, of all the places I've been to in the last year, 2 years, 17 years, this is by far, and I mean by far, my least favorite place that I have ever gone to in the entirety of the existence of my life. I was born in 1922. I've been to a couple of places, and this city is hyper unfriendly. It is super dirty. There are no trees anywhere. It is a literal heat death trap. I wish I was joking. The amount of cars everywhere, the smell of gasoline and petrol in the air is obscene. There's no place to go for anyone looking to escape the heat except for behind a building that happens to have the sun on the other side of it. Everything thus far has been historic. It's been cool. Wow, look at that old ass building that has a whole bunch of holes inside of it. But this is probably gonna be the only time, or this is my second time. I went here when I was 18 once, and this is now the second time. But when I went in the first time, it was winter, and it was also just completely unfriendly as well. But this time, this is special. This is like summer when everyone clamors about going to Italy. Portofino was incredible. I've heard great things about Sicily. I've even heard great things about Milan from time to time. It depends on who you ask. But no, this is super crowded. The vendors are hyper aggressive. We've been grabbed multiple times walking down the street to enter restaurants and to enter cafes, or to buy small umbrellas, or to do any other of the millions of things that people keep asking us to do around the city. This city is dirty. This city is dirty. This city is gross. This city is, and like we are in like the touristy hot spot center right now. It is gross. The most they have for some reason, and I'm not understanding why, these are these trees right here. These appear every 15 blocks, not a fake number, and they're super tall. They don't have any normal trees. There's no other shade in this city. And I maybe I'm just talking from a perspective of, it's about 96 Fahrenheit here. Also not a fake number as well, like literally 96 Fahrenheit today. But it would seem that in a city that is known for heat, sun, that they'd have a little bit more trees, a bit more shade, a bit more place for people to go, as opposed to like on side streets. And if you have watched the other videos I was showing, there were so many people in these areas who were just sitting in the shade. Everyone else is literally just running from areas, see, it's empty, that are in the sun to find an area that's in the shade. Everyone's running constantly everywhere we've been. Even when we were next to the Colosseum and to the Acropolis and to the Monopoly and all the other stuff like that, everyone was just trying to find a way to get into the shade. Anyway, I am glad that I don't live here. I'm being completely honest with you. The other places that we visited before, you've heard me talk about them. You've seen the videos. You know, I give pretty realistic information that I'm thinking at that time. This city is gross. I am incredibly shocked. But as someone recently explained to me, this city's been popular for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So people will visit here regardless. There's not a, people will not be visiting Rome campaign going on. So people will continue to come here and fan themselves and look for shade. And desperately, did you see in the last video, there was a line for like a fountain of people trying to go get water. And it was like 40 people standing in the line in the sun to get water from a public fountain. I don't know. I mean, I've heard thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of stories about corruption in Italy and stuff like that. I have a lot of Italian friends who've told me many stories, many. Apparently it's quite common in Spain and in Italy to hear on the news about corruption. This politician did this politician did that. But to actually see a city that is so popular, that is probably absorbing hundreds of millions, billions, dare I say, of dollars / euros in tourist revenue, and the city looks this bad, it's really kind of insane. The buildings are in disrepair. There's so many people without homes everywhere. How is that possible? How is their system not set up to actually help these people? Why are there no trees? Why is it just stone everywhere? Like, I get it. And for everyone starting a conversation talking about, well, the city's 9,000 years old. Let me tell you something. I like reading about cities, and I like reading about history and information, all that kind of stuff. During the 1950s and 60s and 70s in Europe, there was like a massive campaign that was sweeping through the entire continent by all these countries to basically try and be like America. After World War II, the idea was, America was, by default, because they pushed themselves into that space through the Bretton Woods Agreement, to basically be the strongest country in the world. Other countries realized that they were not modernizing enough. They were rapidly falling behind, and there were so many propositions by so many different countries to modernize. This might also work. This one right here. Give me half a second. I have to see if they have AC. We'll continue this conversation in 1 second. Buongiorno. Do you have air conditioning?
Nice.
Inside? Okay, perfect. Oh, this is nice.
So nice?
Yes.
Un attimo.
Okay, in the back? Okay, we'll continue this Grazie. We'll continue this conversation in like 5 minutes. All right, that pizza was super good. This is the name of the place, Insalata Rica. So back to the conversation. During the 50s, 60s, and 70s in Europe, there was a huge amount of demand for all these countries to begin to modernize. The idea being that America was outpacing them quite rapidly when it came to not even industrialization, is kind of this idea of modernization, of having computers, of having new cities. Even in the Netherlands, they had the idea to actually build highways above Amsterdam in an effort to better connect the city. This was actually voted down, I think, in the late 60s or early 70s, because they realized that it would actually look quite ugly. So it's kind of like, imagine if Amsterdam had highways over it, not through it, not on the ground, not next to the canals, but literally in the sky. That'd be terrible. So many European countries went through these things, especially Paris as well, many other places, trying to figure out a way to like modernize themselves. But luckily by the 80s, they all realized, they don't really have to. People will come to their cities regardless because they're beautiful, they're super historic, but they still look nice. They're still really clean. They use tax money to make sure that there are proper public services and that the city's not hyper dirty. Even when I was younger and when I lived in Paris, it was a little dirty. It wasn't the cleanest place in the entire world, but years later, it's cleaner than it was before. A lot of the dirty buildings are now clean. A lot of the stuff that was on the ground has been taken away. A lot of the things have been reconstructed and made pretty once again. But this city is not. It's not it. I don't understand. I'm glad to have had the chance to come and visit. But no, it's really funny because I usually, whenever I visit places, I try to think of them as a place that I might like to go to actually live at some point. A lot of this trip was me looking at places that I was like, oh, okay, that might not be too bad to live in. I like this city. This city's kind of nice. The city's not too expensive. The city's kind of friendly. The city's kind of small, but it's still pretty okay. It could be nice to have a summer, winter, something home here. But Rome? No. No. I can't be the only one who feels this way as well. There must be somebody else out there who's also been here before, has another city that they've been to where they're like, I would never. Because even for me, like, Paris is probably by far one of my favorite, if not the most favorite city for me on the planet. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people find the French very rude or arrogant or whatever the actual case might be. There are some people who love New York. I can't stand New York. There are people who love Miami. I think Miami is okay. There are tons of places that I just really don't like, but there are other places. I mean, I guess that's why dude, you should not be on that. There's barely a street here. But there are also places that, like, I completely love and other people find slightly deplorable. I think Monaco is really, really cool. I like, does anybody like London? Is that a thing? For me, London's very loud and aggressive, and there are dark corners of the city where you are not supposed to be around nighttime. And anyway, I'm just rambling on at this point. But yeah, we're actually heading back. Very feeling fortunate that I got to come here. How's this real estate prices? I think this is rent. This is 820,000, 110 meters squared, it's 1,500 a month, 16 meters squared, 435 for 56 meters squared, 625, 60 meters squared. You have a gigantic balcony as well, which isn't too bad. 1,700 a month. The prices don't look too bad. It's not terrible. It's actually a bit lower than I expected it to be. Maybe it's because there are no trees in the city and, you know, air quality's not all there. Found some trees.
Calais, c'est pour.
Alrighty, I think that's gonna do it for this ranting video. We're basically kind of ish almost back now at this point. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Even if I was, I rant all the time. You might not hear it as often here, but this was a very different experience than I was expecting. Not even just because of the heat. I get it. Near the equator, you know, temperatures rising, all that other stuff. Totally understand, but like, it's gross. It's gross. City is gross. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, commenting, or subscribing. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.